Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, The Happy Life of Dragon and Rabbit. This is Dragon Girl Yvonne. In today's episode, I would like to discuss a really important exam in China, or the most important exam in Chinese students' life. It is Gao Kao, aka the University Entrance Exam. Okay, so if you know China, the Chinese culture, you may know that in the past 18 years of students' academic life, they're all aiming for this one chance, the Gao Kao, to change their life. And people call it the watershed, and people call it the single bridge for tens of millions of students to come across, and you better be the one who will be able to cross the bridge to change your life. And there are so many different types of sayings about this exam. So today I would like to tell you, in my eyes, what GaoKao is. So GaoKao, the Chinese University Entrance Exam, is very similar to the North American SATs. It is another standardized test to test the students' ability and decide if they will be able to participate in the post-secondary educational institution in China. The difference, though, is that I would say in North American schools, almost all the universities, they look at a lot of qualities of the student, not just a single standardized test score. So they will look at your volunteering experience, maybe you have some student leadership experience, or maybe you are a really excellent athlete. This will all be taken into consideration. However, the counterpart of the SATs in GaoKao, the GaoKao score is the only standard that will be the score for you to go to the university in China. If you are familiar with the Chinese university system, the universities are actually divided into different layers and different levels. And level 1 is like pretty much the Chinese Ivy League schools is very competitive and extremely hard to get in. And then you have the second level, the third level, as well as the vocational schools. And let's look at the data. So in 2020, there were over 10 million people participated in the Chinese University Entrance Exam. However, in some of the provinces, the enrollment rate for students to continue their post-secondary education is even less than 20%. And it is very competitive. And I am talking about one of the most populated provinces in China, Henan province. Millions of participants in GaoKao every single year make the standard extremely high and make it really hard for students to continue their post-secondary education. So now let's take a look at the history of the GaoKao. GaoKao was actually stopped for 10 years between the 67 until 77, and the year of 1977 marked the first year after the 10 years gap of GaoKao was being resumed all over again. So you can imagine how excited the young people at that time were, because everybody was trying extremely hard. They would like to go to a bigger city to find a better job and to start a better life, basically. And I would say that to change your life, your fate, your future, I would say in the 80s or 90s, it is true that if you went to a great university, yes, you do have a higher chance to be extremely successful the later of your life. However, after I would say 40 years, we look back, that I just think that success can come in different forms. That success doesn't only mean that you have a great score in GaoKao and you're all set the rest of your life, or maybe you did not achieve a satisfactory score in GaoKao and you think that you're doomed the rest of your life. This single narrow point of view is not what I consider the only standard to test if one person will be successful or not. Okay, so now let's talk about my life and my high school life and my experience of GaoKao. And I would say that in general, all my 3 years of high school life or all my academic life was actually pretty stressful, and especially in my 3 years of high school.
行呀，都给我打起精神来，两眼一睁，开始竞争，发卷子。不苦不累，高三无味，不拼不搏等于白活。
你们都是高三的学生了，在高三没有假期，没有爱好，没有娱乐，连一丝想玩的念头都是罪恶的。
I remember clearly that when I was first went to high school in grade 10, and we were studying pretty hard. It was a really competitive high school that I went to. So after many hours of studying, one student decided to play some music. It was that modern hip-hop pop music at that time, and we were actually enjoying it. However, one teacher just walked in at that moment and she heard us, and her comment was, "I can't believe that you guys were still listening to this. And this is not beneficial for any of your subjects. And if you keep on listening to this type of music, you are ruining your future." We were feeling really bad actually listening to this type of music, and we felt that we were doing something wrong. So the student stopped the music immediately. Now I'm looking back of this incident, I'm holding a completely opposite view of the teacher at that time, because we were tired, and that's why we were listening to the music to let our brain rest. And on the contrary of what she said, that we're ruining our future, I think we're actually helping our future, because if we let our brain rest, we might perform better in the next exam and get a better grade and better score. Another thing that I remember clearly was from the same teacher, and she used a metaphor for us, saying how important and GaoKao is and how seriously we should treat it. So she said that comparing yourself, for example, to someone in your class who is able to go to a great university, and you are not be able to, your life difference starts at the point when you leave high school. So you may see a little gap when you graduated from high school. The higher that you go, and the longer that we stretch out of the life expectancy, the higher of the differences, the bigger differences that you will see in your life, and that person will just be more and more successful, and your life will just be will just go down spirally more and more, and you're gonna fail the rest of your life. And I had to admit that when I heard that type of comment, I was feeling scared and I was feeling super anxious, because I don't believe that anyone could perform their best in all exams. And whenever that I didn't do great in any of my exams, her voice and that type of comment will be replaying in my ear, and I got really anxious and really stressed out, and I would be thinking that, oh my gosh, look at me, I'm gonna fail for the rest of my life. So now, because I am also in the education industry, I would think that probably at that time the teacher were thinking that, okay, I'm gonna give you some really stressful or really like rather negative comment for you to bounce back and to perform better. However, in my opinion, I always think that encouragement works more wonders and will help students to achieve better results. Then you give them negative comments like that. And that's my thought. And I also would like to share with you my schedule in my last year of high school. So we got up at around 5:30 a.m. in the morning, and we had to arrive our classroom at 6 o'clock to start our morning reading. And when I mentioned morning reading, I meant you're gonna memorize some formulas, and you will, memorize some context in Chinese, in English, and then you're gonna start your first class, morning class, in about 45 minutes to an hour of morning reading. And the morning class went all the way from 7:45-ish until noon. We did get about, I would say, 30 to 40 minutes-ish to finish to have our lunch. However, the lunch has never lasted that long. And I think everybody in my class finished their lunch in about 15 minutes. I went back to our classroom, and you probably could have 10 minutes to take a very quick nap, and then we're gonna have our daily quiz. So the quizzes were rotated between among biology, chemistry, and physics every single day. And then we started our afternoon classes from 1:45-ish all the way until 5:30. And then it was our dinner time. So dinner time was another, I would say, 30 to 40 minutes-ish. However, everybody again finished it within 15 minutes. We came back to our classrooms, and the students were digging their head into their textbook once more to do more practices, to memorize more stuff. And then we're gonna start our evening study all the way from, I would say, 6:45 all the way until 11 or 11:30 at night. Then when we went back to our dorm, you finished cleaning up and everything, it will be around midnight. And sometimes students would use a flashlight to even do more practice and to do more review under their blanket. And then you start your day all over again. 7 days a week, we'll only get half a day off on Sunday afternoon. It was a busy afternoon. I remember it clearly that we would be doing showering and then came back doing our laundry because that was the only time. And there was no washing machines, dryers, or anything like that. We had to use our hands to wash everything. And sometimes if you were lucky that you may have another, an hour or 2 hours to sleep, but I found it's just hard sometimes that, if you force yourself to fall asleep, you are not able to fall asleep as what you've imagined. Before you even realized it, you're gonna start your evening study all over again. And it was very stressful and a lot of anxieties and everything. Now I'm thinking about this, and we're now in 2021. GaoKao is still, I would say, the most important exams in a lot of students' life. However, I just would like to share this message that GaoKao is not the only exam in your life that will change your future. That if you go across the bridge, you will have a bright, promising future. And if you don't, your future will be dark, will be gloomy, nothing like that. I think you just need to keep on working hard, no matter if you have achieved a satisfactory, really high score or not. That life is so long that working hard is not limited to only the first 18 years of your life. You keep on working hard no matter where you are. And as long as you keep on working hard, I believe that one day you will be able to achieve your dream and achieve your goal. So if you are doing really well, congratulations. If you do not achieve your satisfactory score, pat your shoulder. It's not that big of a deal. You're still young and you're still promising. There are a lot of things are changing, and I believe that as long as you work hard, one day, trust me, you're gonna achieve your dream, achieve your goal. Okay, so that is what I would like to share today. Make sure that you give my video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. And this is Dragon Girl Yvonne. You're at the Happy Life of Dragon Rabbit. I will see all of you next time. Bye!